All right, thank you for having me here today. My name is Andrew Shepard, and your pastor invited me to inform you about the Islam religion. But first, I want to tell you a story about the 17-year-old Amal. One morning, she was riding the train on her way to school, wearing her Muslim attire, when an adult male came up to her, pushed her on the ground, and ripped off her scarf. Now, this was around the time of the September 11 attacks, so many Muslims, like Amal, was facing this type of discrimination. Now, by saying and giving information that Muslims are evil, we may influence this type of behavior. Now, in the Bible, the Lord tells us, "Know this, my beloved brother, but let us all be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger." Now, if we can just give the correct information about Muslims, we can prevent this type of discrimination towards these innocent people. Now, in this speech, I'm going to inform you of 3 of the 5 pillars of Islam. First, I'm going to inform you of almsgiving. Second, I'm going to inform you of prayer. And third, I am going to inform you of the pilgrimage. So first, I'm going to start by giving you some information on almsgiving. And according to Kamal Kawaji, the founder of the Working Muslim on a Mission, Muslims are required to give at least 2.5% of their yearly earnings to a charity of their choice. Now, and for Muslims who don't have a specific type of charity that they want to donate to, they can also give their earnings to a supervisor in a committee in Islam, and then they will then disperse their earnings to different types of charities, as well as use a portion of those earnings to spread Islam. Now that is also known as zakat, the giving of the 2.5% of earnings. That is known as zakat, and that is mandatory for Muslims. But there's also there's an optional type of charity that Muslims can do, and that is just to give something dear from them to someone else who's in need. In the Quran, it tells the Quran is the holy book for Muslims, and in there it tells Muslims, let the rich share their wealth to those who are in need. So basically, Muslims are required to be generous. They're required to be these care people. And also, Muslims do these almsgivings because the Quran lets them know that they will receive blessings for almsgiving, since it is ordained by Allah, which is who they call God. So now that I gave you information about almsgiving, I'm going to share information about prayer. Now, according to Ali Talafi, a Muslim author, Muslims are required to pray at least 5 times a day. Now, during prayer, they do different types of postures, such as standing, kneeling, and bowing. And along with these postures, they also cite the Quran so they can give glorifications to Allah. And also, they participate in these prayers 5 times a day so they can show adoration and humility, and again to glorify Allah. And there are also consequences for people who don't participate or who don't believe prayer to be a divine duty. And for those who don't believe prayer to be a divine duty, they will then be banned from Islam, as well as seen as an infidel in the eyes of other Muslims. Also, for the people who do believe prayer to be a divine duty and they're just too lazy to participate, then they'll just be seen as sinful in the eyes of Allah. And also, again, like with almsgiving, Muslims participate in these prayers, again, to become closer to Allah, as well as to be pure. And also, Muslims believe, because it is said in the Quran, that by participating in prayer, that they will then have be prevented to sin. So they will be less prone to commit any acts of violence and things like that. So now that I gave you information on prayer, I'm going to inform you of the pilgrimage. Now, a Muslim once in their lifetime, they are required to go on a pilgrimage to Mecca, and this is also known as Hajj. And what Hajj is basically is a ceremony to share the essential standards of Islam. And but a Muslim must first prepare for their Hajj. And to do so, they have to go into a haram, which is a state of spiritual purity. And to do this, they cannot, again, commit or even think of any type of acts of violence or any negative, basically. And both women and men wear white to be seen as one and to be pure again and for the eyes of Allah. And also with this Hajj, people from all over the world, so any Muslim from any place in the world, come to Mecca to come to this ceremony to all do one thing, and that is to praise Allah. And the famous Muslim Malcolm X, he wrote about his experience after going on his Hajj, and he just explained it basically as a blissful experience, because at a time in America where a white and non-white wasn't even allowed in the same room together, he didn't think there was any hope for mankind. So after going on his pilgrimage, he's seen that there could be change, and he's seen that all these people together came to this one place to do the thing that they enjoyed to do, and that is to praise their Lord. So this, of course, changed his mind, and he had a better hope for humanity. And also, Dr. David Klingensmith did a study on Muslims, on how they change after Hajj, and he found that most Muslims, after coming back from their pilgrimage, they have a change of mind. They tend to believe that people should not be punished with violence for as punishment, basically. And they also found that basically they all have a change of heart. They do not act with violence at all, or even think to act with the violence. So now that I gave you information on the 3 of the 5 pillars of Islam. First, I gave you information on almsgiving. Second, I gave you information on their prayer. And third, I gave you information on the Hajj. So now that we all have this correct information, we can all just spread the word and let everyone else hear about how great Muslims can be, because they are no different than us. So we can prevent things like happened with Amal there, and we can prevent the violence towards innocent Muslims based off a negative generalization. Thank you.